Hi, and welcome to my digital story by me, Stephanie Scory. I'm investigating technology in the classroom, and more specifically, how it can be used to further engage students. Throughout an inquiry project for my education technology class, we have been researching an area of interest involving technology and elementary classrooms. My area of inquiry, and the specific question I'm going to be answering in this presentation, is how can teachers use technology in a way that enhances learning versus using it just because it is available? You may be asking the question, what were the factors in my own history and experiences that led me to become interested in this area of inquiry? Well, teachers have a huge responsibility, and the sheer amount of technology available in society and the extent to which technology is being pushed in the classrooms today has led me to be interested in the topic. I feel I have a good grasp on how to use different types of technology, but as a future teacher, I am unsure of how I can use technology in ways that engage and enhance learning. Another factor that has motivated me to inquire about this topic is the abundance of smartboards in schools, and knowing that is one area I am not as comfortable or confident in. The responsibility to make learning fun and engaging, accompanied by the pressure to incorporate technology into your lessons, has motivated me to discover methods and strategies of using technology in order to enhance learning. Before we get to my study and the findings I found, I wanted to give you a little bit of background information and a summary of some of the literature that is available and related to my topic. There is a lot of research in the use of ebooks versus printed books in education. The research shows that ebooks are set up and organized in a way that resembles printed books. However, this may not be the most efficient way for them to be organized and used to their maximum potential. Therefore, adjustments need to be made in order for ebooks to be used in the classroom more effectively, specifically for elementary students because they require different considerations than older, more mature users. For example, in an article, it discussed how many elementary students cannot distinguish the difference between a left and right click. Therefore, elementary age students require a larger user interfaces and larger, more animated, user-friendly screens. There is also a lack of choice when it comes to ebook use. However, it has been shown that ebooks can help young students with emergent literacy skills. These findings revealed the emergent literacy skills, including vocabulary, word recognition, and phonological awareness, were improved by reading with ebooks, as stated on page 705. Grimshaw et al. 2007 also found that the main benefits to children reading with ebooks were the type of ebook used. The ebooks that showed the best results for children were ones which had narration along with animated pictures and sound effects. Using this type of ebook improved the children's reading comprehension, also stated on page 705. Therefore, ebooks may be a useful, fun, engaging way to help students reach their potential in learning. Another area of research was using technology in science in order to introduce and assess the understanding of students. In this study, a weather lesson plan was used. Students were given a natural disaster to research. They had to understand what types of conditions allowed this type of natural disaster to occur. Then they used programs like Paint in order to illustrate their understanding. This was used as an assessment tool in this specific situation. Another way to use technology in a creative way was using it in order to extend lesson plans, like using podcasts for Reader's Theater. Finally, an article discussing technology and its integration into a rural community was researched. This is particularly applicable to myself because I hope to teach in a rural setting. This article discusses having a positive attitude and outlook towards technology helps teachers to integrate it more effectively. Therefore, due to the nature and shift there is towards the use of technology and its abundance in society, future teachers need to be open to this and investigate the ways they can use technology in order to enhance the learning of their students. It is important to understand the background information and related literature of this area because it gives individuals a sense of what works and what doesn't. As a result, the methods and strategies that have potential are narrowed down. Now, onto my study. Where did I conduct my study? Who were my research participants? And how did I assure my participants that they would be protected from harm and that they would not be exposed to risks? I conducted my study with fellow students, undergrad students in the elementary education program at Mount Royal University over the internet, as well as in person with other teachers and a U of L education student. The information collected from participants through the surveys was anonymous, and the interviews in which I know who responded which answers are not revealed when the information is being presented. Now on to the methodology of my study. I conducted surveys through Google Forms with a group of current second-year Bachelors of Education elementary undergraduate students. The interviews were conducted in person with individuals, including current elementary teachers and another education student at the U of L. The data and responses I collected from individuals was supplemented with research by other professionals in the area. I kept all my survey results separate and then compiled them into a graph. I then took notes on my interviews and made a Wordle summary of responses. In analyzing my data, I looked for common themes as well as authentic responses that seemed to have potentials in the way to use technology effectively. So, what did I find? Some of the key findings I found in journal articles was the potential ebooks have. Then, in my surveys, I found that most individuals experience teachers using technology to help students visualize information better, as well as assist with literacy, like the Red and Gold reading program. In my survey, I asked a specific question regarding what types of activities do you think would excite students. I found that educational computer games was a popular answer. This makes sense because it's fun for students while being educational. It has a purpose, but students want to do it. As well as getting students to do activities that require more creativity. A great example of this would be getting students to do a digital story versus 10 different PowerPoints over the course of the year. In the area of smartboards, I found a lot of individuals do not have a lot of experience or knowledge about them, the same as me. It seems to be an area everyone is unsure about. Therefore, this is an area I will have to do more research on independently in order to understand how best to assist the needs of my student. A key theme that came up in my study was individuals explaining that it is important to keep in mind when using technology to not overlook the basics. Students should be able to do everything without technology first. Then, once this is established, you can start to introduce technology in order to enhance and extend their learning. In an interview, it was explained that teachers can use technology in math through a specific program called SumDog. It involves students playing math games that are leveled so each student gets engaged in a math lesson that is at their level. And the program tracks their progress so the teacher can view what areas the students are improving in or what areas they need more help with. And then the teacher can know where to focus attention during class time. The students can play against one another, so even though it is a very useful tool for assessment and learning, the students are having a lot of fun with it as well. So, in conclusion, what is the study's potential significance for my future teaching practices as an elementary teacher, you ask? Well, it gives me a good grasp on ways I can use technology in order to help students learn. The most significant discovery I realized is the role and potential ebooks have in the future. I am a very passionate person about literacy and think it is important for students to learn to read because it enhances learning and is a key factor in opening doors academically. As a student who struggled with reading and the love of reading, I really want to help my students to not experience what I experienced in school. Therefore, any way that I can potentially help students in their literacy abilities, I am very intrigued and excited about. Through this project and the research that has been conducted, I've identified some recommendations, and at the conclusion of my project, I have some new questions that have been sparked. I think it is important to remember that elementary students are not small adults. They are children, and special considerations need to be taken when planning for learning when using and incorporating technology. It is important to be critical of technology and mediums of technology before implementing them into your classroom. Do your research and see whether there is support and evidence for the use of the specific type of technology you want to implement. This process can create more work for yourself. However, it is crucial to take this extra time to investigate in order to ensure that you are enhancing the learning of your students and not hindering it. Through this research, it has led me to wonder about the question, what direction is technology headed within the next 5 years? And how will the technology landscape look when I enter the workforce? Thank you for taking the time to watch my digital video. I hope it was informative and that it answered some of the questions you yourself may have.